Hey warriors, today we're looking at Tekki Shodan, the first iron horse. In this kata, you'll predominantly use kibadachi. Kibadachi is horse riding stance. So when you're doing kibadachi, make sure knees and toes are pointing forwards. So they're pointing away from your body, so not pointing at the angle, and they're parallel to each other. So the feet are pointing in parallel lines to each other, and my knees are not dropping in, they're turning out. A real big key in doing kibadachi, just generally, but in Tekki as well. So from here we're going to go through the kata and we're going to break it down and go through the first half in this video. So from the beginning, this is a bit we're going to do first. So we're going to do that little section. From here we're going to be ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock. So moves 1 to 6. So let's break this down and make it smoother and easier for everyone to follow. So from here, my left hand is on top of my right. I'm going to look to my right side. So in all the other katas we go to the left, in Tekki we go to the right. The left hand's on top of right, I look to my right side. From here my left leg steps across my right leg into kozadachi, cross leg stance. From here my right leg is going to lift up and my left hand is going to come out and cover as well. So drop that down. As that comes in, my right hand snaps out for haishu uki, backhand block. So in that little bit we look, we step across. Now some styles will just go straight from here. I like to use my left hand to take over the top. Other styles do that as well. So from here I look, I step across. Now I'm going to come up here, both hands are open. Now my right foot's up for fumakomi. I stamp that foot down, my right hand goes out. So they're not happening at the same time, there's a delay in them. So what's happening is I'm going here, the kick's pretty much happening, and then the right hand's going out. So you've done the kick and then you've got the right hand going out. So from here you look, step across, up, out, here. And this isn't a slow action, this is nice and quick. So here, look, step across, up, out, landing in kibadachi. From there, I'm going to do MP. Now, when I do MP, I pull this hand in halfway and strike with my elbow halfway. So I'm not going here or there, because then you'll see my back hip turns. We don't want that. This rotation will happen from the thoracic part of your back, so your rib cage and up. So rather than being from the hips, think your T-spine, so where your spine meets your ribs here, that's the bit I'm going to rotate to go and get this. So I'm here, 1, there, and I've got a nice box in front of me. Now, as my hands drop down to Koshi-Gamai, yeah, so here you can see the bottom hand, the base hand, is palm up to the ceiling, but it's a fist. The other hand is on top, like a potato, here. So you see there, my hands are like this. Okay, so the bottom hand is palm up. The top hand is palm pointing towards me, and that goes on my hip here for Koshi-Gamai. As I do that, at every single point in the kata here, I look away from his hands over the other side. Really important, the head turns in Tekki. Important in all katas, but this one majorly. So look here, I've got Gidanbarai, Kagazuki, hook punch. And then we've got our first 1 to 6. I'm going to do it going this way now. And do it slower. So look, we step across, we come up with our right leg, left hand's gone out, strike out, haishu uki, backhand block, MP, Koshi-Gamai, and look away from those hands, Gidanbarai, Kagazuki. So we'll go through those first 6 again. So my hands, left hand on top of right, feet together, here. I'm going to look, step across, Koshi-Dachi, right leg goes up, left hand goes over the top of my right, comes out, 1. So we've got this here, nice high knee, and through for that fumakomi, that stamping kick. Could be stamping to the foot or to higher up the leg. Haishu uki, backhand, MP, Koshi-Gamai, hands on the hips, here to one side, Gidanbarai, Kagazuki. Let's go through that again. So look, step across, up, out. 1, 2, look, 3, 4 there. From here, I look, here, so ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock. again, once more, look, so that's ich. So ich is look and step. Ni is leg comes up, arm goes out. San is MP, shi is koshigamai, looking the other way. Go, ginambarai, rock is kagezuki. Kagezuki, sorry, hook punch. So once more, before we move on. At a slower pace. Be aware that that backhand block is fast. So don't go, I'm doing it slow so you can see it now and then, but here, it's there, fumakomi and out. So that's the first moves 1 to 6. So now, from there, we're going to do the next little section. So from here, I'm going to step across, and as I step across, I'll look. So let me show you the whole little bit we'll do. So from here, so that's the next little section we're going to look at. So from there, I'm in my kiburachi, I've got my kagezuki out, so I step across with my right leg in front of my left. Now, as I come here, we're now defending or attacking someone here. And if you need to be looking before you're striking. So you'll see in a lot of styles, they'll come here and they'll bring this knee up and they won't look until they do the block. Personally, I think you need to be looking before you do your technique. So really make sure here, we've got this, we're looking this way. As soon as the knee starts coming up, I start looking across, yeah? So I'm here, as this knee's about to start coming up, I'm turning my head and I can see out the corner of my eye, my elbow. That's kind of like the rough idea. So I'm not going here, look, leg. They're happening sort of at the same time. I'm stepping across, coming one. But like my guide is that I'm looking out the corner of my eye, over my elbow. So I'm here, now my knee's going to start coming up. But I haven't gone full head turn. I've gone, start turning, looking with my eyes, there. Leg comes up, uchuki. Now, the leg coming up is another big point. Quite a controversial point in the martial arts world. So, you'll see some styles will really bring that leg up. You look in textbooks and they'll term it a fumakomi. For me, it's a stamping kick, but it's not what I'd consider a fumakomi. So fumakomi would be here, and I would twist into the kick. It'd be here, twisting those toes over to the opposite side, so my standing leg side. For me, it could be a stamping kick if it was an oblique kick. So here, an oblique kick would be leg up, toes going away from your standing leg. So here it could be there, through. I can't see it as a proper fumakomi because here the hips don't work as well for it. It could also be a kingeri, a kick to the groin, or a rising maigeri. So like rather than being a straight maigeri, a rising maigeri. So rather than being a push out maigeri here, more of a rising up maigeri, which is in karate. So it could be for me any one of those three. So when I'm doing it, rather than making it one of them, I'm just bringing this knee up. So this knee comes up, toes up, so I've not got a dangly leg. It's there and it's strong. And it goes down strong. And that's what I'm looking for, because I'm defending here. I can't be striking that way and striking that way as well. So I'm defending this way, so that's where the kick needs to be looking to go. So that's what I'm doing. So from here, we step across here. Okay, that head turn was too quick, so I stopped. Step across, up, leg comes up, one. Yeah. So from here, step across, my right leg. My left leg starts coming up as I start turning my head. I can see my elbow out the corner of my eye. My left leg comes up here, comes out, and then I do a Jodan Uchuki. So look from there. If I do it on the side, so I'm looking this way in my kiburachi. So it looks a little bit like all these three kind of happen at the same time, but it's not. It's head, foot, leg, but they're very close together, so they overlap each other. So I'm going, my head starts turning, so my foot starts coming up. When I've completed my head turn, my kick's finished, and then my uchuki's coming up. So from here, so let's add that into from the beginning of the kata. So we've got look, ich, step across, leg comes up, knee, here, arm out, san, shi, go, rock. Then we got ich, ni, and possibly san. Don't worry too much on the numbers. It's a rough guide, isn't it? So from here, I'm here, I step across, now I look up and block. So that's that little section. The next section we're going to do from here, it's going to be this bit. So this little Uraken bit. So I've just done the step across and lifted up my right arm. So now this is Uchuki. Now this arm is basically going to do a punch out. Before that, I do a sweeping Uchuki. So here I do like a sweeping Uchuki, okay, but which often goes and gets turned Nageishi Uki, sweeping block, rather than Uchuki. So Nageishi Uki, sweeping block. So from here I've got this arm going out, one, and then I've got Uraken here. So this arm, just think this arm wants to punch out, but before you do that, you do a Nageishi Uki, which is a sweeping block here in front of it, and then your arm strikes out. So I'm here, this arm comes out in front, strike out. Arm comes out in front, strike out. Okay, so whilst I'm doing that, I then follow up the Uraken. So I've got my strike here, I've come up one, so now I've got Nageishi Uki in front, I've got punch out to the chin or the nose. Now my Uraken comes in, back fist to the nose. Notice I'm off the angle, so I'm not straight here, because then my block would be all over the place. I'm here, so this is slightly shifted so I can get this one in front of my nose, and in front of, straight in towards their nose, and this hand's underneath. So from this position, so we're here, we're just going big scooping block, strike, strike. Here, big scooping block, strike, strike, or sweeping block, Nageishi Uki. From here, up and through, 1, 2, Uraken. And again, using more the thoracic spine to rotate than the hips, because we want the hips to stay solid for that Kibidachi. So that little section now adds on like this. So ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock. Sich, ash, ke, je. Okay, so now we've got from here, we're in this little section. So now I've just done a Uraken with my left hand, so I look over my left shoulder at a 45-degree angle, not completely over my shoulder, but in the middle of my shoulder and my hand, 45 degrees. Now from here we've got Nami Geishi, which is a return wave kick. So from here I'm going to pull this leg in. So this little section will look like this next bit. And that's our next little bit to cap off the first half of the kata. So from here, I've got this in front of me. I now look over my left side because I've got my left arm up. I look through the gateway here, through my hand and my shoulder. I pull my left leg towards me. Now I want to keep my hips still, but for me to do this slowly, I'm going to have to shift my hips so I keep my balance. So from here, I'm pulled. You see, toes curled up. They strengthen that foot. This foot goes outside the knee. It doesn't come inside the knee and kick yourself here. It goes completely out there. So there, one. Now, this hand rotates. So the outside of my arm pushes outwards. So at the moment, I've got my palm facing me. I turn it. So now the back hand is facing me. There. No bent wrists here, nice and straight. So from there, I look through the 45. One, turn. So I look through the 45. One, turn. So you can see here, I'm there, I look through the 45, not completely over shoulder. 45, draw in, and then I rotate this arm away. So it could be like a hammer fist strike here, using the outside of my arm. That's a slightly quicker version, or in the way it should be done. So here I look through the 45, bring my left leg in, out. And I do that because my left arm is up. So I go off my left arm, so I look to my left gateway, 1, 2. Now I look over my 45 over my right side, pull my right leg in, the same thing, Nami Geishi, return wave kick, 1, and turn my arms the other way. So it's more like a Sotowoki now, but all you can see is a hammer fist here. So I've gone, draw across. Again, look, trying to keep here, from there. So the other thing is when I'm doing these kicks here, I'm not trying to shift my hips or anything like that. I'm trying to go from the knee. So I want to think the knee is pressing like on the wall, here and there. So and there, here, through. But they're coming outside. But you can see when I'm practicing a little bit slowly, I've got to shift my hips. But with pace here, I don't need to. Okay, so my left arm's up. I look through the 45, the gateway, 1, 2, look, 1, 2, rotating those hands. Now, hands drop down to Koshi Gamai. I've looked away from them, like we said earlier in the kata. Kiai, Murote Zuki, double strike or double punch. Okay, now your double punch is going to look like a bit like half a sai. So I've got this arm completely out and this arm 90 degrees bent. So it's not over here, it's not over there. It's about sternum, sort of bottom of my rib cage height. So when I'm here, when I've just done this little bit, drop and look. Now look, the arms don't come round, they go straight across. They come straight across my body like a punch. It's not a swing round, it's not an opening here, it's straight across. So the last little bit for this kata is from here. We've just done our, we're over this side, hands drop down, look, right across the body. So here, hands drop down, look, drop the body, across the body, and kiai. Here, whoop. So that last little bit is like this. Hands drop down, Koshi Gamai and look, kiai. Here, or whoop. Kiai was a bit late then. Whoop. On impact. So that's your first half of Tekki Shodan. So what I'm going to do now is going to show you what we've done so far today. I'm going to do it slowly, at a couple of different angles and at a faster pace. So this is the slow version first, straight on. Now, a faster pace on the straight on. And then we'll go to the side. So from here, you see a look, step across, left leg, left arm goes up and out, over the top of the right leg goes up and out, stamping out, right hand folds out in that backhand block. MP, hands drop down, to my hip I look all to my side. Block, strike. I step across, as I start looking, this knee comes up, block. Hands wrap round out, 1, 2, look over the shoulder, 2, return wave quick kick. Now the right side, hands drop down, kiai. At a normal pace. I'm through. And that's Tekki Shodan, that's the first half. It's part 1. Hope you enjoyed it, warriors. Thank you very much.